he's been around me since he was 3, and taught him. He's worked for some other guys, caterers for a year, and so he came back and he pretty much just ropes too. So I traded him too. But yeah, it's fun. I got a girl that braids manes and tails all day. Like it's cool.
Well, that's a big part of what you're doing, right? These horses, they don't only have to perform at top notch, but if you want to sell it to maybe like the amateur guys or something, you got to look top notch, right?
Yeah, it just takes a little more effort to go first class, I guess you'd say, but yeah, we want
back to us getting this room.
Yeah, exactly.
It takes a little more effort.
Just just thinking outside the box.
Just a little. There's a box and then there's outside. Right? That's what I'm doing. Sure. Brandon is not going to let us put this one out. God, edit as we go through. But so how's that work for the people at home listening? I buy a horse, I send him to you, we partner on the horse. How's that work?
So I do have some that I'm partners on, but as a whole, mainly people will come to me and say, hey, I want a horse to go to the futurity system. I said, perfect. We go look for something that I kind of think a little further down the road, I guess you'd say. And I don't know if that's right or wrong or indifferent, but I want something that after we go, and hopefully he pays his way by winning while we go, afterwards they have something to go enjoy and go to the World Series finale on and make a lot of money on there, but mainly just something that they can ride and enjoy, because horses are so expensive now. Like it's wild what a good quality horse is, what they cost, and hopefully we can train them, season them at these futurities, and then they go from there.
How hard is it to get the guy with the checkbook to fit the horse that you find for him?
I think.
Is it you meet the guy and you say, okay, I got one, in stall 23 that's gonna fit him good? Or is it you line a bunch on the fence?
Yeah, like if someone was to come try a horse or whatever, I have told a couple of people, like after the second steer, I'm like, hey, he's just not for you, because it doesn't do either one of us any good. If you buy this horse, he doesn't fit you a month down the road, and I'm trying to figure out where to sell it for you. I don't even want to cross that bridge, So
how often does that happen?
Oh, man, it does. Like, I think it happens a lot.
Well, I think
a
so.
lot, probably more than it should. And like I said, I don't know if it's nice guy finishing last story or whatever, but I really think that if you don't jump over $1 for a dime, like take your time, fit the horse to the person, make sure that they're getting the right needs, and also for the horse, like maybe I'm a little too passionate about horses or whatever, but I don't really want them to go live a bad life either, you know what I'm saying? So, but it happens, a lot.
Yeah. And you probably get some of those horses that need a little stronger guy, and that maybe some of them will walk over some of these guys that are going to be down here roping in the 8 or not, you know what I mean? Something like that, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's funny because they'll run, like I said, 1 or 2 steers, and you're like, yeah, that ain't gonna work, because they're pushing buttons that horse can't take, you can kind of know, like you know pretty much.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Teach the roper how to ride the horse. Yeah. The horse is fine, but the rider is just.
Well, and I'm getting to that because, this is kind of a unique sport in a way that there's every guy from the number 7 ropings all the way up to the open to, the guys at the Tolleson-Mack over there. But it's such a wide range of places you guys got to train these horses to go fit.
Yeah, and it's no discredit to anybody. I've been there in that spot and ridden bad myself, but it's like, these guys are trying to catch. Like, that's their job, to catch fast that are here this week, and like, you'll kind of abandon your horse every now and then. Well, hopefully, I've done my job, that horse knows his job. Leaving there, he's not waiting on me to tell him every move to make and every step. Like, he's so locked onto a cow that he can go do his job. And so that's kind of the approach I take to it. I don't know if it's right or wrong or whatever, but I would just work. Well, sometimes,
right?
I would just assume that horse do his job and we can worry about our job.
Seems to be like that story we just said about everybody had to start and had to ride something that wasn't as good as they're right now. But we had to do that some of these guys are just getting broken right now at this level, and they say they're 50, 60 years old, they're just starting to get into it. It's a little harder for them to ride that horse right now in their part of their life, you know, at the age that they're at. It was easier for you when you were younger, but right now, they need, for that, their age, I think, they need, you know, they want that younger horse, but.
Yeah, I do, I think that's something, roping has changed so much in horse training. I mean, everybody is smart enough to evolve, right? Like, you're not just gonna be so stuck in your ways like back in the day, but I think it's just like riding a bike. I mean, if you learn to ride it when you're 3 or 4 years old compared to when you're 40 years old, it's gonna be different, like you said, you know, but I think these horses nowadays too, like, we've bred them to be more athletic, we've bred them to be more smart, we've put all the time in them, but like, the guys gotta be able to ride them too.
I think there's so many people that are getting into the roping league now that are like, you know, they're firefighters and they're 30 years old to 50 years old. There's a big group of them, you know, middle-aged guys that are getting into roping. I think that.
And that's what I was saying, it's probably hard to find horses to fit all these different level guys, and I mean, you're training on them, and I'm sure your tendency, just natural tendency would start to lean to a little more pro, you know, you gotta dial it back sometimes.
Well, that was definitely a learning curve. Like, when I was still rodeoing, I'd only have 4 or 5 horses, and I was just responsible for them, showing them and winning on them, and man, it was easy. Like, well, heck, I know what I need to catch. Well, the first year that I did rodeo, I was at home training these horses, and some of these guys would come out of them. What did I do wrong? Like, I haven't done my job, but then I get on and they do their job. Well, that's not my job. My job is to make that horse fit everybody.
Yeah, we've said that a lot on here, like, you know, if I'm selling a heel horse and I'm taking a video to put it on somewhere, chances it's probably doesn't show that well. We call you guys to come over and show a heel horse, same steer, same arena, same everything, and it looks like it should be, you know, top of the world.
Yeah, and I think it's the hardest thing I have tried to accomplish is teaching people less is more. Like, they try to just do everything for the horse when they get on them. I'm like, man, if you get in your truck and you're pressing the gas and the brakes at the same time, what happens? You lose your brakes. You know?
Right.
You can't be pulling and kicking all the way to the gallop and expect your horse to have brakes when you get there. You know what I'm saying?
I've heard a lot from Caesar and stuff that, you know, let your horse put your hand down, let your horse do what it knows how to do, and I think it's just like Jesus, take the wheel back on. You know what I mean? I just think that it's the control factor of, you know, not having it in your hand or whatever. But then when I would do that, listen to Caesar and horse go right in there, right? In the perfect spot. So
You got a really good horse at the finals, Paul. He's going to Paul, right? Tell us about that horse a little bit. I think. I don't know if Paul's going to start on him or not.
I don't know what his plan is. I don't think Paul really cares.
Yeah, I don't
He's
think
got
he
so many
feels so good on
Yeah,
the
he
team,
thinks
so
so.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, that horse was a freak. Ran a shard, trained him. Well, I don't want to give him all. he did a lot. He did a good job. Yeah, that guy's amazing. But that horse honestly taught me a lot about horses in general. Like, he could do stuff that most horses couldn't, and he could do it in not arrogantly, but like to the normal guy that don't even know what he's doing. You know what I mean? But what that horse could, how strong he was, how fast he was, and his athleticism that didn't get in your way, that's a hard thing to find. And like, Paul didn't even try the horse. We just bought him over the phone. He just called me, and I was sitting at home, and he's like, "What's Apollo doing?" I said, "Well, he's sitting there watching me ride a bunch of dinks, and I get to ride up the arena every time I look at him, you know." And he's like, "Well, what about him?" I don't really need to say a whole lot. I don't think. Like, I mean, the horse is great. He's so good. He got me to that bar. That's what I tell people. But no, that horse, he's cool, and I mean, I don't miss many horses, but I miss getting to ride that one.
That was gonna be my question. Have you sold one or two that you really missed?
Yeah, I missed out. He brought him to the house this summer for 2 days, I think, or 1 day, and I loved him in a couple circles, and I was like, yeah, this ain't gonna take long. And I ran one steer, and he goes, "God dang!" I was like, "Well, yeah, but I've run it for 7, 8 years. He run it for 6, 8 months." So.
The horse's speed, there's something to that. Has he got any kind of running in his bloodline?